A pretty girl is like a melody.
A pretty girl. Think of a pretty girl, talk of a pretty girl, or see a pretty girl, and you think of that master showman, Florence Ziegfeld. Tonight, in presenting the first of the series of radio productions, the Ziegfeld Radio Show, we are fortunate in having with us Mr. Ziegfeld himself, the man who glorified the American girl. These programs come to you with the compliments of Chrysler Motors, manufacturers of Plymouth, DeSoto, Dodge, and Chrysler, glorifiers of the American car. These automobiles, like Ziegfeld's girl, suggest the last word in style, in smartness, in beauty of line and color. But let's turn to the great showman, the man who sought and found beauty and talent on the farms of the West, in the mills of New England, on the plantations of the South, in department stores, offices, schools, in every part of this old republic. Just look at the list of the famous who started their spectacular career under the banner of Ziegfeld. Billie Dove, Marion Davies, Nancy Carroll, Dorothy McHale, Ina Clare, Mary Eaton, Merlin Miller, Gloria Swanson, Joan Crawford. But the list of Ziegfeld Follies beauties could be extended indefinitely. Now let's turn the pages of the Ziegfeld program. Let's recall some of the scores of his many follies. Of Showboat, Riorita, Kid Boots, and Sally. The Three Musketeers and Whoopee, and all the rest, including his latest success, Hotshot. Great shows, every one of them. They combine glamorous beauty, unforgettable music, and great fun. And oh, what a list of stars. Who'll ever forget Will Rogers or Eddie Cantor? Ed Wynn, Fanny Bryce, Mary Lewis, Ray and Johnny Dooley, W.C. Fields, Lupe Velez, Burt Williams and Jack Donahue, or Raymond Hitchcock and Zan and Skeggs, Burt Law, Leon Earl, Eddie Dowling and Nora Bayes, Ruth Edding, Dennis King, Helen Morgan or Paul Robeson, Frank Tinney, Burt Wheeler and Bob Woolsey, George White and Buddy Rogers. Doesn't it read like the blue book of the American theater? But the show is ready. Here's the first leaf out of the Ziegfeld scrapbook of memories.
So let's lift up the curtain for the millions listening in. Good luck, Mr. Ziegfeld. Let your radio show begin.
What a night, and oh, what an audience. Now the overture is over. Shh, the curtain's going up. The program says the first number is Memories. Look, here's Eddie Dowling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ziegfeld Radio Show, brought to you by Chrysler Motors. Let's begin by recalling a thrilling moment in the Follies of 1919. It's the debut of a boy out of a Brooklyn church choir, a handsome youth with the voice of an angel. Oh, I can see him now. And what a gorgeous stage setting. A garden of nodding tulips. A great windmill is slowly turning, and in the wings waiting for his cue is that same young man. Go on, John, they're waiting for you.
There's a place that I know where the sweet tulips grow. There is someone I love to see. In the sweet tulip time with her tulips to mine, just caressing, pressing tenderly. And in each, every kiss, there's an ocean of bliss, and the wedding bell soon will chime. And I'll build her a nest, and I hope we'll be blessed with a sweet darling baby, and there may be more, maybe, every year just at tulip time.
There's a place that I know where the sweet tulips grow. There is someone I love to see. In the sweet tulip time, with her tulips to mine, just caressing, pressing tenderly. And in each, every kiss, there's an ocean of bliss, and the wedding bell soon will chime.
and I hope we'll be blessed with a sweet, darling baby, and there may be, Lord, maybe, every year just that
And here's a night of nights. The theater's decked with Union Jacks and Old Glory. Every seat is occupied. Hundreds are standing, and outside in the street there are thousands. What a crowd. Word has gone out about New York tonight that the Prince of Wales will visit the Ziegfeld Follies. And here he comes. Listen to that cheer. Hooray! The Prince is bowing and smiling from a stage box. Listen to that crowd. Of course, the show can't go on. Meanwhile, an usher is taking backstage a request from the Prince. Imagine the thrill that this pop-eyed youngster from New York's East Side gets when he receives a royal command to sing for the future King of England, and there he goes!
She's got a dog and cat, a great big picture hat. All the boys just call her baby. She's got a dainty style, such a baby smile, the kind that makes you want to stick around a while. She's got those dreamy eyes, every time she sighs, you'd forget your family. The other evening in the cabaret we spent, when I saw the check, I thought it was the rent. But when the waiter came, she simply signed her name. That's the kind of a baby for me. She's got a dog and cat, a great big picture hat. All the boys just call her baby. She's got that haughty stare, her eyes say don't you dare. Her smile says come and kiss me dearie, I don't care. She's got those dreamy eyes, every time she sighs, you'd forget your family. Last night I said my bankroll is an awful wreck. She tossed $1,000 alimony check. She said, now wait, don't tweet, I get them twice a week. That's the kind of a baby for me.
And who can ever forget the opening night of the Follies of 1923, when the great and the only Victor Herbert stepped into the pit to conduct one of his last and one of his greatest successes, Kiss in the Dark. Shakespeare's phrase, the music of the spheres, might well be applied to the flood of music that radio pours into the air daily and nightly. Perhaps the song we've just heard reached the ear of Victor Herbert. in some far sky corner. Surely he can never die so long as there is a heart that thrills or a soul that sings to the immortal melodies he left behind. And now the scene shifts to the 1921 Follies. We are down under a bridge in the heart of New York's tenement district. Above is the blue sky, that deep, vibrant blue that comes only from the brush of Joseph Urban, the man who created a wealth of lovely pictures to serve as background for the stars of the Follies. Children are dancing about the hurdy-gurdy man. Hear them laughing and playing, what a happy, chattering throng of East Siders. But on the porch steps at one side sits a lad who of all that gay motley crew is sad and dejected. And he may well be unhappy, for his sweetheart, Sally O'Brien, the belle of the alley, has won a beauty contest. And with it a contract to appear in the new Ziegfeld Follies. This is the day she leaves the alley for Broadway. Listen to the Clancys, the Dugans, and the Sullivans bid her Godspeed and success. So long, Sally. Goodbye, Sally. Bye. So long, Sally. Ah, cut it out, will you? Is there anything funny about a fella feeling bad because his girl's going away?
Oh, she's only gone to Broadway, Jimmy. She'll be back.
Nah, she won't. She's going with them Follies. That means big money and success. No, sir, she'll never come back. Park Avenue is the nearest she'll ever get to our alley again.
Sally, won't you come back, for our alley's not the same. You can have your fame, but what we're after is your sunshine and your laughter. No one else could be so pally. In our hearts we miss you, Sally. Sally, come back to our alley. Don't say no. Come back to our
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the world's greatest showman, Mr. Florence Ziegfeld, in person.
Thank you, Eddie. This is my first appearance before a first-night audience of one of my shows. For more than 40 years that I've spent in the theater, I've let my boys and girls do the talking. But I couldn't resist the opportunity to speak to you, to the millions in the coast-to-coast audience made possible by this great new medium for entertainment, because I wish to thank you for what I trust is your gracious acceptance of the first of the Ziegfeld radio shows.
Oh, that's great. Tell us, Flo, as you look back on all your shows, who do you consider was your greatest star?
I guess my favorite star at any time you ask me is the star of my latest show.
Well, that's fine. And who was that star this time?
She's in my new show, Hot Shot, at the Ziegfeld Theater here in New York. That little ball of fire, Lupe Velez.
Oh, and here's Lupe herself, with Al Goodman, conductor of our orchestra, here in the studio, and also at the Ziegfeld Theater. You'd think this Lupe was a girl you couldn't shake a stick at. Oh, but she isn't. Al Goodman does it in the pit at every performance of Hot Cha and gets away with it. You talk to her, Al. She's looking at me with those Mexican eyes, and I'm afraid.
Tell me, Lupe, do you miss the movies?
At first I did, but now it's exciting. I love it.
You mean the stage?
I mean Mr. Ziegfeld show, Hot Cha. The wonderful audiences, the beautiful Ziegfeld girls, the scenery, Burke, who is so funny, and the applause. We don't hear that applause in the movies. And it is very grand to see all those sweet people who like me in pictures and who are now so kind to me on the stage.
Apparently you like being a Ziegfeld star.
It is a great honor. Suppose I sing a song for all my good friends of the radio. One of my songs from Hot Cha.
Good enough. Boys, let's have Conchita.
I just want to be Conchita without a true love, just a new love every day. Then be on my way to the next one. I admire, my love is fire. Many men have learned they'd be burned if they play with Conchita. Why should I sit at home and worry about some charro? Oh, retoriador. Once I used to do it, but not anymore. Do they love me because they think I'm wise? No, they love me because I make the ice and do that. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Do they ask me to be a sweet coquette? No, they ask me to shake my castañet and do that. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. They don't care if I can cook tamales or chili. Oh, golly, it's silly. I go like this, I go like that. They throw the keys, they throw the hat, which means in Mexico they love me so. Do they want me because they speak romance? No, they want me to go into my dance and do that. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la. Do they love me because they think I'm wise? No, they love me because I make the ice and do that. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Do they ask me to be a sweet coquette? No, they ask me to shake my castañet and do that. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. They don't care if I can cook tamales or chili. Oh, golly, it's silly. I go like this, I go like that. They throw the keys, they throw the hat, which means in Mexico they love me so. Do they want me because they speak romance? No, they want me to go into my dance and do that. Tra-la-la-la, 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 la-la.
How does it feel to be an actor, Flo?
Believe me, Eddie, I'm going to keep right on being a producer.
Oh, you shouldn't feel that way. There's a great audience out there listening to you.
Maybe you're right, but they're out there instead of here. And how do I know they're listening?
How do you know? Say, look at this pile of telegrams that have come in since we started.
That's fine. All of those friends of mine. But there's only one person in the world I can depend on to tell me the truth. And she's really responsible for keeping sophistication out of my shows and making them fit for our daughter to see.
Well, that's lovely. Who's that, Ziggy?
That's my wife, Billie Burke, and she's in California.
Oh, we knew you were going to say that. We've got her all ready. Way out there in California, 3,000 miles away. Are you ready, Mrs. Billie Burke, Ziegfeld?
I can't tell you how good it is to hear you, Flo. Way off here, 3,000 miles away. I do so hope you can be out here with Patricia and me for the rest of your programs. Get so lonesome without you. I'd be on the train for home this minute, but it just isn't on the cards, is it? How little those in other walks of life appreciate the sacrifices people of the theater make for the few years of fleeting fame they may enjoy. and how many holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries they have to be separated, each trying to carry on his job. But I feel just as if I were with you tonight, watching and listening to you stage one of your great shows. It's such a thrill sitting here, listening again to that night when the Prince of Wales attended the Follies. And if I didn't know that Joe Skenk of Van and Skenk had passed on, I could believe it were he who sang Sally tonight. It's all grand, Flo. I hope the millions listening in are enjoying it, too. Patricia wants to speak to you, dear.
Hello, Daddy. My, but it's good to hear your voice. Aren't you coming out to us soon? Daddy, I've got my eye on the slickest Plymouth coupe. Mother says I must wait until I get home, but that's a long time. Don't you think you could change Mother's mind for her?
It wouldn't be the first time, dear, would it? But you're to blame, I'm afraid, Flo. When I asked Patty what she thought you would say to a new Plymouth, she replied that you never yet had said no to her for anything. And now, Flo, it's my privilege and honor to introduce on your program the greatest of all your great stars, our own beloved Will Rogers.
I'm not... Hello, Flo. I'm not really on this thing, but I just come down here to pay my respects to Mr. Florence Ziegfeld. Had there been no Ziegfeld and no Follies, I would today have been 12 miles north of Claremont, Oklahoma, plowing for corn, slopping the hogs, running my own still, and knocking the Republican Party. As that is considered one of the chores in my country. It's since become universal. I started with the old Follies, you remember, Flo, in 95. It was in a sketch. Fanny Bryce and Eddie Cantor, Burt Williams and W.C. Fields were doing, and they needed a baby in the part, and they carried me on. I was nursing on a milk bottle, and they had replaced the milk with gin. Oh, it was a big laugh. The joke was on everybody but me. I know the Follies better to do this Chrysler outfit. My daughter's got an old one, but its steering wheel don't work any too good, and it keeps going in a circle. But that's not bad. As long as she's going in a circle, I know she's not getting very far from home. Hey, by the way, that might be the salvation of the automobile industry, is to make them all go in a circle. You know, Mr. Ziegfeld, he picks out the most beautiful. He sent, from every corner of the world, he gets sent there to Oklahoma to get me. The critics raved over me when I first went into New York, said they never had seen such features. Said I was different. Ziegfeld, Flo, you not only glorified the American girl, but you put enough clothes on her to make people want to see her. Mr. Ziegfeld has produced the most wonderful shows year after year of any producer the theater has ever had. Every man that flies the ocean from now on will always be just an imitation of Lindbergh. And every musical show that's produced is just an imitation of Ziegfeld. Flo, I hear you've been sick. Don't die. We need you. And if you are going to die, don't die till you will, Mrs. Rogers and I, your daughter, Patricia. Goodbye, Flo. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Now our show is nearly over. We must have a big finish, just as every Ziegfeld show has. What would you say, Flo, is the biggest one you ever staged?
No difficult to answer that one, Eddie. It was the finale of Rio Rito.
Rio Rito? All right, then. Let's have it. Go into it.
When you opened your newspaper this morning, did you see that advertisement of Mr. Walter P. Chrysler's? His new 1932 Plymouth is being shown for the first time by 10,000 DeSoto, Dodge, and Chrysler dealers. And what an impressive statement that was. Listen to what he said. I produced the first car that ever carried my name in 1924. It sold for $1,800 and caused a sensation. The new Plymouth that I am introducing this week is exactly the same size as the original Chrysler. It is just as powerful. It is faster. It is 10 times as smart. And it is priced under $500. If anyone had told me 2 years ago that such a thing could happen, I would have said it couldn't be done. It still seems fantastic, but nevertheless, it is true. Just think of it. Mr. Chrysler's 1932 Plymouth is as big as the original Chrysler car that caused such a worldwide sensation. The new Plymouth is faster and smarter than a car that cost more than 3 times as much only a few years ago. The biggest optimist, the wildest dreamer, would never expect such a big, luxurious, powerful car as Plymouth to sell at such an amazingly low price. Try to imagine it. But you don't really have to imagine it. You can see it. Mr. Chrysler has asked me to give you his personal invitation to look at his new Plymouth and drive it yourself. You certainly ought to find out what floating power means. Compare all 3 low-priced cars before you buy any. You can equip your new Plymouth just as you can equip your DeSoto, Dodge, or Chrysler with a Duplate safety plate glass for a very small additional cost. Less than $10 for all-round equipment in the coupe and less than $18 in the 4-door sedan. Duplate safety plate glass absolutely eliminates the danger of glass splinters, the cause of 45% of the injuries in motor car accidents. You will find the price of all Plymouth models at the end of Mr. Chrysler's advertisement. And don't forget Mr. Chrysler's personal invitation to see his new 1932 Plymouth and drive it before you buy any low-priced car. It is now on display at all DeSoto, Dodge, and Chrysler dealers' showrooms, and you can have immediate delivery.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, of our first Ziegfeld radio show of the year, we invite you to be our guests again on next Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, when we promise you just as many tremendous surprises as we gave you tonight. And we do hope that you listen in. In the meantime, good night until next Sunday at 8 p.m.
In your memory, by morning, night, and noon, she will lead you, and then come back again. A pretty girl is just like a pretty of a haunting refrain. She'll start upon a marathon and run around your brain. You can't escape. She's in your memory by morning, night, and noon. She will leave you and then come back again.
Conchita from Hotjar was presented by special permission of the copyright owners. And the theme, A Pretty Girl is Like a Melody, is played by special permission of Irving Berlin. Your announcer, Don Ball. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.